There she is!
Hi.
It's the beautiful
Hi,
Stacey Cooper.
Tracy.
How are you? It's
I'm
so
good.
nice to
Oh
see
my
you.
gosh, your introduction is just rendered me speechless. Thank you so much.
It's so deserved. It is
So,
so deserved. How
oh
are
my
you?
gosh, this is my first time on your show.
I know it is, and I'm so lucky because I know that you're a bit modest on social media, and so I feel really lucky that you
I
that
would do anything for the Globe organization.
you're so
It's
awesome.
closest to my heart.
Where are
I'm
you right now,
actually
you
in
world
Miami
traveler?
right now.
Okay.
Yes, we've been here for quarantine, and it's actually been fine because we can still walk outside. We have the beach. Although they were closed, they're open now. Everything is okay. You know, working out, doing breathing. Um, just thank God we're all healthy and trying to navigate through this.
Are you going to be heading over to Europe, do you think? Because I know that you and your husband head over to Europe every year and enjoy the summers there.
Well, hopefully I'm going to surprise you in Greece at some point. Maybe during your divine conference.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
we
I
might get a.
have to get there. I hear such wonderful things about it. So,
Oh, Stacey, you know what? It's incredible. It really teaches women just to run into that divine feminine. And I mean, probably, more than anyone, you're a wife, you have 4 kids, you have 3 grandchildren, you have businesses, you travel, you have social responsibilities that sometimes within the midst of all that, we can tend to lose ourselves.
yes.
And this is one way to really just reconnect and remember. I don't like the saying "I am woman." Just to remember, I am feminine. I have that soft femininity, and I need to preserve that. I think it's one of the best beauty secrets in
Yes.
life is to keep that.
Your authenticity is your gold,
This is so true.
right?
This is absolutely so true.
So
So
maybe this is the year. I mean, we're not doing a lot of traveling right now because we're still trying to navigate through borders. I know that parts of Europe just opened up yesterday. So, I'm going to do what I can. And like I said, hopefully I'll be there this year for you.
I hope so. So listen, for any of you who have questions of Stacey, go ahead and pop them up, but I'm just going to begin the interview so that you can get to know her a little bit better. So Stacey, let's go back in time, and I was thinking this morning that, let me see, you won Mrs. Globe in USA, I remember. I remember that year so much, not only because you won Mrs. USA, but somebody grabbed this picture where you were winning, and I was hosting that year, and Don Foley was in the back crowning you, and
Yeah.
that poster became so endearing to me because I'm like, oh, there's such special people in that picture.
Hi,
Um,
Dawn. Hi, Neil. Sending
and
love.
so it was the year 2000. It was before 9/11. Remember?
Yes.
And there you are. You enter our system. You capture the title of Mrs. US of A. How long ago was that? So
It was
um,
in 2000.
it was
I had just
21
turned
years ago.
40. I didn't realize that there was nobody else in the patch at that age. Um, it was just like the perfect storm. I'll never forget it as long as I live. I won Mrs. US, and then after 2 minutes of elation, I realized, oh my gosh, now I have to represent the United States in the world title on the world stage. So it was just amazing. It was really amazing. Winning Mrs. Globe is something, it stays with you all of your life. You're a Mrs. Globe forever. And as far as your alumni, it is a beautiful family of powerful women that really are innovative and continue to teach others and help others. And I'm really proud to be a Mrs. Globe. I really am. My daughters are very proud that I was Mrs. Globe. And you never know, maybe when one of them gets married, I know my youngest one now is married, and I keep nudging her, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's the big rumor is that the next Mrs. Globe from USA is going to be one of your 4 gorgeous daughters. So Stacey, take me back to that moment that you're on stage, you're on the world stage at Mrs. Globe, beautiful contestants that year, and it's ticking down. It's top 5, it's top 4, it's top 3. There you are. There's 2 people standing on stage. Take us to that moment.
Okay, so this is exactly, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I think it was Ukraine that was one of the 2.
Estonia.
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 Very much. Mrs. Estonia. And she was telling me, I can't do this. I just, oh my gosh, what if I win? And I was consoling her rather than thinking about, oh my gosh, who's it going to be? This is amazing. And then I was also thinking, what have I done? What if I don't win? And I have all 4 of my daughters here. They were little girls at the time. And so I really wasn't thinking about winning. I was thinking about Mrs. Estonia, trying to calm her down, and also the thought of, how to console my children if it wasn't me. Those were the things that were going through my head standing on the stage.
And this is, for those of you who don't know Stacey, this is classic Stacey, that she is always thinking of other people, how they're feeling, if they're comfortable, making sure that everybody's heart is in a good place, because I know how much you don't like to see people hurting. And I remember, I think that when you won, there was one of the loudest screaming cries I've ever heard in my life from the clan, from the Cooper clan at that time.
My daughter Casey, oh my gosh. It was hard to get the crown on my head because all my daughters were trying it on. They were so, it was really just a moment. But literally, that moment was just the beginning of a life of Mrs. Globe. It's just been beautiful, and I thank you all the time for the experience, and I continue to help as much as I can with the WIN Foundation.
And that was 21 years ago, and look how amazingly beautiful you are even today. More beautiful than when you won, actually, I have to say. Listen, because I remember you hated your hair when you won.
We decided after Mrs. US to go a little exotic, and we went very dark with the hair, which was great for the moment, but yeah, I think a little softer as you mature.
So I want to talk, there's so many things that I want to talk about, but one of the things that I want to bring light to is, when you meet Stacey, the one thing that you notice about her is she's physically, God put her in an amazing package, physical package on this journey. But there is such a sense of humility about you. And I remember one time having a conversation, and I'm like, Stacey, you just have so much in life, and you're so humble. Where does that down to earth, real humanness come from? And you shared me the story about your brother.
My brother Gary. So 10 years after the rest of us were born, my parents went on a cruise. My mom got pregnant, and back then they didn't test, and we had our amazing, very special brother Gary, who is mentally and physically challenged. But I have to say, when they call those children special, they truly are, because Gary he is special. He's special in our family, special to everyone that knows him. But he really grounded me. I mean, I used to take him with me everywhere I went to try to help him to be independent. I think that was a goal for all of us. And although everybody said, all the doctors, teachers said that Gary would not be this, wouldn't be that, wouldn't talk, wouldn't walk, and now he lives independently. He's with Best Buddies in Miami. The Shrivers have an incredible foundation, Best Buddies, and he works at the Aventura Mall upstairs in the food hall. He's a greeter, yeah, and he lives in his own place very close to the mall, so he has a pretty independent life now, which nobody had ever thought, and that, I think, comes from the togetherness and the love and the power of love to lift him and make him to be who he is now. But at the same time, Gary kept all of us grounded. So through all my success in modeling so young and traveling to Europe and, you know, being on covers and doing all of that stuff, it was wonderful, but I don't know, Gary just kept me grounded. He's amazing. And I knew what real life was, not just the accolades.
One of the things I have always loved about you is you are such a family person. And there's another historic moment, and I think I shared it with you yesterday for the first time because I wanted to talk about certain things and making sure that, you know, we were good to talk about it. And I know that there's one thing that I know about you is that your family is number one, that nothing comes behind your family. And one of the things I love about you is when Stacey Cooper loves, she loves fierce. She loves fiercely, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I know that during the year of Mrs. Globe, you went through a divorce, and it was very, you know, it was an awful decision and a difficult decision to have to make. But moving beyond that, one thing that I don't think that you understood at that time, or even up to this day, is that during that time, which was again 21 years ago, our rules and regulations read that you had to be married in order to be Mrs. Globe. Well, there you are, our amazing Mrs. Globe, and, you know, everybody's in love with Stacey Cooper, and suddenly, you know, there's an issue in the contract that was creating a division that it just didn't seem right. And I think it's really very relevant to what's happening today in the world, is that it's proof that sometimes things that might at one time had a good intention just need to change. So we went to the board of directors during that time, and we discussed, we're like, no, we don't want to lose Stacey because life happened, our unexpected life happened. And so we changed our guidelines as a company to say that a woman could be married or divorced or with children over the age of 27. And, you know, Stacey, I think about you every year when I get teary, when I get emails from throughout the world from women who saying, you know, I really had this dream. I can't dream. I know it's a Mrs. Pageant. I guess I don't qualify. I'm just looking for something of quality that I can be in. And I'm so proud to say the number of doors that opened up because of you, that there are hundreds of women around the world dreaming and doing now because of you through our organization.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so to talk about that part of, I'm going to take this off for 1 second. Because
yes, that's okay. You can take it off.
Crown.
Yeah. I'm not used to seeing you walk around with your crown.
I know, but, you know, I haven't had it on in so long. I said, you know what, I have the opportunity, I'm going to put my crown on because I am so proud of it. I would love to come back another time and show you all the crowns because I have my state crown, I have my Mrs. US crown, I have my Mrs. Globe crown, and I have my new Mrs. Globe crown that I got in China with my chain. And so I can give you a whole museum tour of our crowns from the past and the present.
I would love it.
But as far as, you know, the rules changing, so thank you very much, and I'm glad I didn't know that, and I'm really proud that that you felt that way about me to change the rules. So I appreciate that. But I didn't know my life would explode. I mean, a lot of times things happen in life, and you know, I'm very happily remarried, but I'm still very good friends with the father of my 4 daughters. And we have, you know, we had 4 beautiful children together. And after the, you know, the initial change in our lives, we are now really good friends. We vacation together. We, you know, we have our holidays together. And I told him that. I said, you know, we have 4 beautiful children. We're going to be together the rest of our lives through weddings and babies and everything. So anybody out there that is going through a divorce or is divorced, I highly recommend that you put your children first and make sure that you are friends, because whether you're in love now or were in love, love and hate are very close to each other. And the best thing for your children and for your family is to always know that you are family and to work through any differences, whether it be living or apart. So I'd like to say that. And again, I'd like to really thank you for having so much faith in me, Tracy, to have changed the rules and to have all these women that have the ability now to compete that are divorced, because life throws us curveballs as women. And it's not what we go through, but it's how we handle it that makes us who we are, because life is forever changing. So thank you.
Absolutely. It was one of the best decisions the company ever made on many levels. And I want to make 2 points to that. Is I agree 100%, because research shows that it's not the divorce that affects the children, it's how the parents treat each other. And I can say that, my parents, they divorced 30 years ago and 30 plus years ago, and it was uncomfortable for a season there. But now they live 10 minutes from each other. They have dinner every night together. We have a family chat, and we always are chatting. And so though my parents are divorced and separate, we're still a family. And it's so healing. It's just so healing. You don't have to think like, can I invite this one and I can't invite that one? You're just like, okay, Thanksgiving dinner, who's coming?
And don't want to know about that. They don't want to know, and they don't want you to say something bad about their mother or their father, because they're a product of both of you. And the experts say that if you say something negative about someone's parent, they take it personal. So if you love your children, try to work through. I'm always open to help with that situation, because I had a lot of help. I went to a lot of professionals before I divorced to make sure that I did it the best I could, and I think we're in a good place. So
yeah, you are. One thing that is also about you that I want to talk about is the fact that you have such a calmness about you, and I'm sure that our viewers right now can see that there's just this gentleness and this calmness about you, and it's something that it's really not a show, because I have seen you in stressful situations, like when you were competing and your luggage didn't show up. Or one of my favorite ones, Stace, and maybe you don't know this, is that I remember, I think it was your first time that you joined us at Mrs. Globe in China, and all of a sudden, Mrs. Grease comes up to me and she's like, I found this in the bathroom. And it was this bracelet, and I'm like, my first thought is, well, did you wash it? And secondly, I'm like, okay, this is like a bracelet. It was sparkly. Let's just say that, okay, super sparkly. And I thought, oh my gosh, what do I do? Because this is obviously a quality piece of jewelry. And so I said, okay, I'm going to put it on my wrist. And the rightful owner, okay, it kind of manifested, okay, rightful owner noticed me. And I put it on my wrist, and I thought the rightful owner will see it and call it out. And so I'm sitting across the judge's table, and I'm kind of leaning against the table giving the judge's briefing. And all of a sudden, you calmly look up, and you're like, oh, there's my bracelet. I'm like, there's your blankety-blank dollar bracelet. And you were so calm. You're like, yeah, Benny wouldn't have been happy if I lost that. You were so calm.
thank you.
So tell me, based on that inner serenity that you just seem to carry as a torch, it's really I think it's really it represents you. What tools are you using that you can face adversity with such a sense of calm?
Well, I don't know that I do that, but thank you. But what I will say is that your moral compass is your beacon. So I've taught my daughters this, and I live by it. So whatever you do in life through your day, and it's day to day, minute to minute, however you treat other people, would you want to be treated that way? And whatever you do when you put your head down at night on your pillow, will you like yourself? It's really that simple. So whatever you're doing, if you can lay your head down on your pillow and like yourself, and that accumulates. So when you're a teenager, into your 20s, into your 30s, into your 40s, and now into my 50s, it actually makes you very calm because you just like who you are. And I think that's very important to be at a level of Mrs. Globe, or actually at any level, as a wife, as a person, just as a human being. I think the most important thing, and what you're teaching women, Tracy, is to just like yourself, because your beauty comes from within. And if you like you, then you can like other people. You have to start with the basics. You have to love yourself. Number one, above your children, above everything, is to love yourself. Have a strong faith and to love yourself. Those are very important beauty secrets. I would say those are beauty secrets, to love yourself. And that's what you're teaching other women. Because, I'm sorry, you don't love yourself, it is impossible to love others. It is so difficult to be happy. When you see some people and they're just not nice, I think, what's going on inside of them, because that's where the chaos is. And so once you are calm, or you like yourself, you like who you are, you like what you're doing, then you can project that to motherhood and to life and to everything else.
And I think, Stacey, that one thing I so appreciate in you is that you have found that perfect harmony in healthy self-love and that inner peace and kindness towards other people, because some people might love themselves and be nasty to other people, and some people might be too self-deprecating. And I just think that you embody this healthy balance within you, because you are a lioness. I mean, as gentle as you are, there's no pushing Stacey Cooper Shabtai around, right? Not at all.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, you're definitely.
And as far as liking myself, or we're talking about, I love helping other people. I think that's, what you're saying. I love trying to help other people and make other people better, make other people calm, make other people healthy and happy. And I don't know, those are the things I enjoy doing in life.
Now, you practice yoga every day, correct?
I do.
Yeah.
I practice yoga, anything athletic. I think it's very important to do some type of sweat, or it's very good for your head. I do stretching now that I'm of the age I am. I feel that stretching is extremely important, and yoga is part of that.
I agree 100%. So let's fast forward to life today. And I know that we're going over, but this is so much fun. I'm not going to stop yet.
No.
So fast forward, you remarried.
Yes.
How many years has it been at your amazing wedding in the Bahamas?
So the wedding was 6 years ago, but we've been together for 17 years. So the first 10 years, my children were still in school, and I didn't want to do anything until the last one left for college. And 2 weeks before she left for college, my now husband put a ring in front of me and said, okay, in 2 weeks, you're moving back to New York City, and that's it. We're getting married. And then he planned this incredible wedding. I mean, it was a fairy tale, and it was adorable watching him plan it. But you talk about me being calm and zen. My husband is extremely centered and very spiritual. We get along really well that way. We're both.
And if I remember, he does a handstand every day, right? Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Okay, so share very quickly, because when I say that you're a wife and a mother and a grandmother, you had two blended families get together. How big is your Brady Bunch family now? How many?
7 children and 4 grandchildren. So, but I know that number. We'll do this another time. But I know that that number is going to be huge because with 7 children, 6 of them being girls, I think that that number will grow fast.
Well, we have somebody saying, what's your age? Because you are just so stunningly beautiful. We'll put it this way. When Stacey was 40 years old, she won Mrs. Globe 2000. So you go ahead and do the math on that one. Yeah, and he says, oh my gosh, and you're a grandmother too. I don't know if you can see the comments too. Yes, this is the beautiful Stacey Cooper, and that's why all of the Mrs. Globe, oh, and he says you're so sexy.
Well,
And
compliment when you're in your 50s.
right,
Thank
right.
you.
So, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Well, Stacey, as we move forward, what do you have coming up in your life? And we're going to have any last, if any you have questions for Stacey, send them over now because she is a very, very busy person, and I have to let her get back to her 7 children and 4 grandchildren, and your philanthropy and your travels and all the things that you're doing
I'm so
with.
happy to catch up with you. I hope I make it to Greece for the Divine Conference. When is that, Tracy?
Oh, thank you, Stacey. It's taking place September 8th through the 12th. The location is Greece. Our theme is Come Align with the Divine. And the Divine, when people ask like what the Divine Feminine, I think that you embarked that spirit. It is this inner feminine power that we carry within us, that it is strong, it is bold, but it's also compassionate and loving and focused and driven and funny, you know. That's one thing I love about you. You and all your girls and your entire family are great laughers, and I think that to be able to laugh at life is so important.
We like hanging out together, just like your family.
It's so
So
important.
my birthday is during the Divine Conference, so maybe I will be there. And this year is my 20th year for Mrs. US, and that is in August, right?
You know what? I'm sorry, we just had to change it last week because of COVID. We got moved to October.
So October, and will that be open to the public?
Right now, it's slated to be.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I might have to come since it's my 20th year.
You definitely have to come, and we're going to celebrate you, our very first Mrs. US of A, who went on to win the prestigious title of Mrs. Globe all the way back in the year 2000. She's now one of my most treasured friends in life. And Stacey, as I always tell you, you're just such my mentor in many ways. And to all the Mrs. Globes, you know, again, maybe, I don't know if you heard it in the introduction, but we have a joke, but it's really not a joke, that you are the most beautiful Mrs. Globe, and we all aspire to be able to mature in life as gracefully as you have.
No, every one of our Mrs. Globes are super powerful, amazing, gorgeous. Thank you for all together, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Us, it's amazing, and I like as I said before, I truly am still proud to be a Mrs. Globe. I look forward to coming back on the show another time, and if I can mass my collection, because some is in New York City and some is here in Miami, and put all the crowns together for everybody to see.
I would love that. Well, Stacey, listen, I kept you over, but I just thank you so much for your time. I love you so much. Say hi to all the family, give all the children. Very quickly, just so people can get an idea, what are the age of your babies, your children?
My daughters?
Mm-hmm.
My daughters are 34, 32, 30, and 26. If you can. So maybe we have a globe in there somewhere.
Well, you have a 28-year-old saying that he loves you, and he wants a wife like you. Okay, on that note, Stacey, I love you. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be in touch, and you can close this down and say some final words to our viewers.
Well, if anybody needs any advice for the Mrs. US coming up in October, you can DM me on Stacey Cooper. You could also contact the Mrs. Globe. And again, thank you so much, Tracy. I love you to the moon and back, and I hope to see you very soon.
Me too. Lots of love.
Love you.
Bye, Stace. Love you.